That's right. I've gone off the deep end. Hello, welcome to Middle-Aged Millennial MILF Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Strickland. I'm coming to you today solo. One of my favorites to do sometimes because it's just easier. I don't have to wait for someone to come on. And I just noticed my face is all red. My apologies. So today we're going to talk about hippy dippy shit. Oh, what is hippy dippy shit? You might be asking. That was what my parents used to call anything that was Eastern, anything that was not Western. My parents were very pro-Western, pro-prescription pills, pro doing anything you could to not help yourself. I mean, clearly they weren't doing it. They're no longer with us. So I think there is something to it, but neither here nor there. So I was very anti this stuff. Like when I was on the prescription pills, the doctor would be like, you need to work out. That helps your depression, this and that. And I'm like, yeah. Give me the drugs. That was really when I feel like I started to heal, like, because you go through withdrawal and your body's getting rid of these toxins and it's really awful. But then you kind of have to rebuild. And I started, you guys know, I had Christiane on. I was doing the Calm app. I was doing all those things. I was starting to work out, walking. Walking was a huge game changer for me. I've been really bad. And ever since my parents died, I've been really bad about the walking, especially. It's easier when the kids are in school. They were on break. So that would be my number one hippy tippy tip would be get out and get some sun first thing in the morning. It really does help set your clock. It puts you in a better mood. I get more exercise when I start in the morning. That's kind of how it got started. I remember I told my parents I was doing yoga and my mom was like, why would you do that? And then my dad was like, I've heard that's really good for you. So thanks, Dad, for being supportive of that. The main things I want to talk about today that are my hippy dippy kind of have made me who I am. We're going to talk about supplements, meditation. I have a food coach. And I also now have a hypnotist. That's right. I've gone off the deep end completely. I'm all in on all of this. So let's just jump into it. Supplements. I remember watching the second Sex and the City movie with Samantha was taking all these supplements. And she was like, I got this from a Suzanne Summers book. So I went and bought that Suzanne Summers book. And I remember looking at all those supplements and I was like, I can't take these. This is a lot. I'll never remember this. And the book just kind of sat there. And then after the withdrawal and stuff, Drew was watching a Netflix documentary called Fantastic Fungi. I don't know. I really pronounce things like white trash. So I'm sorry in advance. And he was watching it, but I was like on the couch on my phone watching it and was very intrigued. So we started buying mushrooms supplements. That's how we started. Reishi was the first one. And they tell you to like start one and then see the difference. I can't tell you specifically what this improved in my life. But I can say without a doubt that once I started taking the supplements, I felt way better than when I wasn't taking the supplements. I used to take Valium for anxiety. It never helped my anxiety. All these things do is make you tired. It's not calming your anxiety. It is literally numbing your brain so you're not having reactions because you're literally medicated. Ashwagandha did more for my anxiety, more for any of that than any prescription pill ever did. It's just okay. Here, let's just get real talk. Adderall was my gateway drug. Adderall, I started in 2007, 8, bought it from somebody's girlfriend at work because I saw that that's what Nicole Richie took to be super thin, and I wanted to be as anorexically thin as possible. And we're talking with some friends who are on it now, and we're like, this is bad news. And they're like, well, you get drug tested. And I was like, what are you talking about? And apparently our doctors never did this. I had probably 5 psychiatrists. None of them ever did this. Drew's psychiatrist never did this, but apparently they drug test you if you're on the Adderall. They don't want you on marijuana. You're literally taking amphetamines. You're taking meth. Let's be honest. Like, it's fucking meth. But God forbid you have some marijuana to take the edge off. Because let me tell you, that shit will amp you up. You may think that it's out of your system because you took it 12 hours before. These things stay in your system, and you might not think that that's what you're up in arm, that's what's keeping you up, but it is. Number one hippy dippy shit, marijuana. I will defend this until the day I die. That is how strongly I feel about this. And they said, oh no, it's okay if you have your medical marijuana card though, which I do have my medical marijuana card. But because of the propaganda, because of the misdirection, because of the blatant racism, that is why marijuana is a level 1 drug. It is the same as meth because of racism and hippies. I was reading about this. Literally, they were racist against the Mexicans bringing in this marijuana, they said. I'm not saying they brought it in. And then the hippies, this was how they were going to get them. I don't know. God forbid people are like, I think the Vietnam War shouldn't be in it. And they're like, locked up for life. You smoked a joint. I'm discovering, I guess, as anyone would right now, that there are a lot of pedophiles in this world. I did not realize that so many men wanted to sleep with children, which is fucking disgusting. But there you go. So apparently these pedo perverts didn't want the Mexicans or the hippies getting ahead. So now marijuana I think it's decriminalized now. Seriously, Democrats, get your shit together. Get your fucking shit together. And let's pass some shit for some people. Quit fucking just tweeting and being like, oh, this is so bad. Fucking do something. Fucking take up a mantle. I will go down and take up this mantle. Marijuana should be legal. If you can fucking go buy a 6-pack in the store, you should be able to go buy marijuana. You can buy fucking cigarettes that we know cause cancer. Alcohol causes cancer. You are literally drinking a carcinogen. Do you know how many people have gotten cancer from marijuana? None that I've ever heard of. Please, if there has been someone, and perhaps the smoke. I don't think taking smoke into your lungs is good in general. I'm not advising you to smoke this either. I take little supplements that look like fish oil. You would never know that's what it is. I could really take them in anywhere. You really don't know what it is. But that has done more for me than any other prescription pill. The war on drugs was fucking bullshit. Nancy Reagan was sucking so much dick in Hollywood. That's how she got ahead, by giving head. And now we have the war on drugs. Just say no. Fuck you, Nancy Reagan. I'm glad you're dead. Honestly. That's right. I fucking said it. And then when you say things like that, people are like, oh, don't say things like that. Don't hate. I was raised in a different house than you were, I guess, because I feel like it's perfectly acceptable to say that and be glad that Nancy Reagan is dead, because her and Ronald Reagan were fucking abhorrent. Oh, I'm liberal lefty. You got me. Ooh. Sorry, I'm feeling a little testy today. I think just the world in general right now. But back to, here we go, a long roundabout way. So love marijuana. Does a lot for a lot of people. Helps people with cancer. Doesn't give them cancer. But I mean, my God, they're just taking away people's rights. So marijuana really probably shouldn't be our number one priority. I think maybe not deporting people, arresting them, tearing children away from their parents. I mean, that's probably honestly more important. Childhood hunger. There's a million things that I think are more important than anything that the government is focusing on right now. But yeah, marijuana, as maybe someday things will get better. I'm really hoping for a female president in my lifetime. Let's get this shit passed. Like I said, I will take up that mantle. I will go down there. They all fucking do it. You know they do. They just say that they don't. People love to look down on it because you're a pothead. I don't. You wouldn't know half the time. I mean, I guess you could for my eyes, let me tell you. I've seen some pictures of myself high. You could tell by the eyes. But I think other than that, I'm fine. Let's get into my other favorite thing that I thought would really mellow me out, but I am just very high strung, was meditation. I've had episodes about it. I had Matt Dixon on. Love Matt. Matt is expecting another baby. Yay, another TM baby. So exciting. Yeah, I don't want to seem like I'm recruiting people for TM, but I cannot recommend it enough. My parents dying, that was tough. That was something I was not ready for. And having this tool just to know, like when I start to get overwhelmed, when any of that, I know that I can just take this 20 minutes with my mantra and feel connected to the universe, and it calms me down. I've used it in times of extreme stress. Meditation, I was in therapy for years. I was doing EDMR for my fear of flying. It was incredibly bad, crippling. I would have to be basically like an elephant trunk to get on that plane. Like, I remember I was going to a funeral in Kansas City, and my brother-in-law at the time gave me muscle relaxers and then some anxiety pill. And I don't remember. I like basically just slept the whole time there, but I took the muscle relaxers on the way home. There were 2 seats that were open. I think it must have been Southwest, like open seating, but there were graham crackers there. And I like moved them, and the flight attendant was like, "You can't move those." And I was like, on drugs. So I'm like, the graham crackers don't need a seat. So luckily she just like left me and didn't. And then as soon as the plane landed, I remember I like popped up and just started pulling people's luggage out and putting it down. And I walked like right off the plane and saw my parents, and then went and puked. So there's lots of stories like this of me messed up on planes. So I did the EDMR. It didn't help, but meditation has helped immensely. And I say my mantra when I'm taking, anytime I just really need to feel kind of connected. To me, meditation is the equivalent to praying that people do. I say my mantra and I feel connected to God. I feel if I'm going down in the plane crash, like that's how I'm going down, is I'm going to picture Maharashi and I am going to say my mantra. And we went to Schneff Farms with the kids, and we were going to ride like the tilt-a-whirl. And I was like, oh God, Maharashi, watch over us. And then Beckett just kept saying Maharashi. And then we went in a haunted house, and he's like, who was that God you were telling me about? Have him watch over us. I also love that he tells everyone we're Hindu now. And he said, Mom, there's another Hindu kid in class. And he said that he believed in heaven. And he goes, I had to break it to him that reincarnation means there is no heaven. And I was like, buddy, let him have it. Like, I absolutely love how smart Beckett is. But he is going to just wreck some kids' lives. Like, there's this kid, Angus, who I wasn't a fan of. But apparently he was saying hi to Beckett in the hallway, and Beckett's like, I didn't like him. I just ignored him. I'm like, you can't be rude like that, Beckett. He needs some meditation. We think we're going to start to do it when he's 10 because he has ADHD, and we do not want to medicate him because, as I have said, Adderall is a slippery slope. It is also meth. So we don't want to do that to him because we have worked too hard to not be on any of that as a family. And I think I'm going to have David on soon. Hopefully. He was my teacher. He learned from Maharashi. He was back there in the 60s. Like, he was as in it as possible. And we have been getting all of our advanced techniques. That's right. There's advanced techniques. 4 of them. We have done 3. I have 1 more, and then I can do the city program. And I've heard that that is even more transformative. And people will say, oh, it costs money to do this. Yes, it does, because they have to rent the space. They have to cool the place. They have to heat the place. They have to have lights in the place to do these trainings. People tithe 10%, I think, is what is requested by the Bible, which how can you be like, oh yeah, God put a price on it? Like, that's so weird, and it's made up bullshit. But people tithe 10%, which I'm sure if you do the math over the years, they have spent leaps and bounds above the little amount that we have spent. It really is not. It's not. And there's a sliding scale for if you don't make as much money. I love it. I love it. It makes me so happy. And I am high strung. I was even more high strung before this. I was that person too that was like, I can't meditate. My brain's always going. And that's where this one, it's okay for your brain to keep going. You don't need to control your thoughts. You don't need to be like, I need to think nothing. All you have to do is say your mantra in your head. So say my mantra was red. Red, 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 red. I'm saying red in my head silently. My brain could be like, oh, what are we going to make for dinner? I hope we don't do pasta. And your brain can do all those things. You just have to, in the background, be going red, 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 red. Easy. Anybody could do it. And I mean this so genuinely, I mean this, and I know it's the truth, that if everyone right now would stop with the hate and the Christian nationalist bullshit, and if we all meditated, we literally could change the vibrations of the earth and make it more positive. Things would get better. But the thing I think that people like about religion is that there's a hierarchy. And it is really easy in that situation to be able to feel better than people. And people really like to feel better than other people. I like to feel better than other people. I mean, who doesn't? And anybody that says they don't, everybody judges. Everybody judges. It's human nature. You all judge. We all judge. That's why they like it. But in meditation, there's no external. There's no focusing on gay people are bad. Minorities are bad. You're a sinner. You're going to hell. Meditation is literally just connecting to the universe, you, yourself, and I. I just wish, I think MAGA needs to meditate. Just wouldn't work. So we're fucked. I don't know if things are going to get better. I'm going to keep meditating because I've decided, well, I'll do this until I die. I haven't missed one 20-minute meditation. Today's the 15th. So 3 years. It is literally almost our 3-year anniversary. And I have not missed once. 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon. I've had a few where I had to do them right before bed, but I am not missing it. And that is something that I'm very proud of because I was always told I didn't stick with things and I was a quitter. And this I have stuck with and I haven't quit. And it is the thing that I do for me. And I mean, it really is 40 minutes. And then say you do another 20 minutes of working out. That's an hour out of your day. And the impact that it'll instantly make is huge. People are willing to shoot themselves up with Ozempic. I don't even know. Anything that sounds too good to be true probably is. And I just am looking forward to seeing those commercials down the line. Like, did you take Ozempic? We have a class action lawsuit like that. That shit's happening. Fen, all of that. And then also you put on the weight as soon as you quit taking it. It's not like it's changing your body. Go take some fucking Adderall. At least then, hey, you'll get your house fucking clean too and lose the weight. So when these are happening, I'll come on and be like, do you remember the Hippy Dippy shit episode? I called this because I educate myself. I think that's what I don't understand the most about people in general. Let's get off of meditation for a quick moment. People don't seem to educate themselves, or they don't seem to make it a priority to educate themselves. Like the fact that people just watch Fox News and that is how they see the world makes me sad for them. This one existence, because I think that all of us owe it to ourselves to learn as much about this world as possible while we're here. Why else are we here? We're supposed to make connections, help people learn from the past so we don't repeat it. They do because reincarnation. But educate yourselves, people. And that's, I think, what this is. A very conservative mindset is very black and white. Hippy dippy shit. No, I don't do that. Whereas the world really is gray. I think everybody, if they kind of were a little more in the gray or a little more curious, as my therapist likes to say, thank you, boss. I love when you say curious. I think it would be a better world. But enough of that rant. Sorry, guys. Let's go on to food. So I got my supplements going and I was meditating and I was still getting these rashes all over my body. I remember it for sure started during 2022, and then it would like come and go. I remember it was before I started at collections. I had this horrible rash. I'm on like a video call and he kept saying like an STD. And I was like, this is not an STD. I have been tested. I've had 2 children. I haven't been with anybody. Like none of this is an STD. So they just kept giving me creams and we couldn't figure it out. And I also was like vomiting like 3 times a week and just decided that was normal. I'm like, yeah, you vom. It's no big deal. So Drew had found Roger Corser, the host of Australian Traders. He's like the biggest movie star in Australia. Yeah, let's go with that. Roger Corser, biggest movie star. His wife is a coach, and she is Renee. I'm gonna have to have her on because she is the most beautiful. Like light just pours out of this woman, and she is so positive and wants to help you make your life better. And so she's like, all right, we're going to do this. And I think you're ready. And I told her about my diet. And she's like, I'm amazed you look as good as you do for what you eat. And the sodas and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know. But she's just so full of light and like, drink water and this and stuff. And so I was going to do these tests. So I get these tests. And one of them for parasites, I had to shit in a fry basket, like a fry basket. And then like spoon it out into something and like shake it up, like 3 days worth. We had to keep it like in the fridge. It was not the proudest moment of my life, but I was pretty proud. Like we had this colander from that Airbnb we owned, this plastic shitty one. So I set the fry basket in there. Like it was a whole to do. The pee one was easy. You just pee and freeze it. And then for the food sensitivities one, it was like 6/4 size on this card. And you were supposed to prick your finger to fill 6/4 worth. And I was like panicked and didn't want to do it. Drew was helping me. I don't like needles. So he pricked my finger. 1 drop of blood comes out. Like we were not filling these circles. I was going to have to like slit my arm. So I called my doctor and was like, I think you guys need to draw blood and then we need to get a dropper and fill them. And so we went and they're like, yep, sure enough, that's what we're going to do. And there was some young boy there, Peyton, and she goes, oh, he's EVIT learning how to be a nurse, I guess. So he went in there with us and she's drawing my blood and she's like, Peyton, are you doing okay? I was like, and my eyes are closed. I'm like, yeah, Peyton, are you doing okay? He's like, yeah, I'm okay. And then she goes, come here. And he goes, oh, wow. And my eyes are closed. I go, Peyton, I'm going to give you a word of advice. Don't ever say, oh, wow, when someone's getting blood drawn and their eyes are closed. Like this is that, honey, I'm going to give if oh, wow is going to be a response, I don't think this is the industry for you. Like poor Peyton. And so I got it. I sent it in and I get my results and I have a whey allergy. That's right. Whey, like whey protein. I didn't realize how much stuff had whey in it. I guess so much stuff in my diet. I ate a very processed diet and whey is in all of that shit. Like Kraft macaroni and cheese, instantly done. I couldn't do it. Cool Ranch Doritos, whey in them. Can't do it. Anything powdered cheese, done. And what's weird is also it's in a lot of like Little Debbie's. Like I can't eat any of the Little Debbie stuff anymore. And it was the cause of all of my rashes was because I looked up a whey allergy because I was like, everyone kept saying a food allergy. So I thought, well, and then it also explained the puking. So yes, my puking was linked to a whey allergy as well as my crazy rashes that nothing would fix. As soon as I cut that stuff out, I have not had one rash. And oh, here's another funny story, rash. I was doubling up my vitamin B when I was taking my supplements, but put on a wool shirt at work. So I thought I was allergic to wool. And I was like, I never knew this. This is weird. I've worn wool before. No, too much vitamin B will give you a rash. Just like I learned too much magnesium will make you shit because we had a girl with an eating disorder at work that she took too much magnesium to shit and then was in the bathroom for so long. And I didn't know she was in the bathroom. I was hanging out with a guy outside because we went to Flower Child to use the bathroom. And I joked that she was doing cocaine in there. And then she came out and was like, "Oh, hi, Sarah." And he looked at me and I was like, "I don't think she's doing cocaine." Like, I'm sorry. I thought I was joking about a stranger. So yeah, but whey, so much stuff. I loved macaroni and cheese. That was my favorite. And I just can't do it anymore. I loved an Einstein bagel. And when my dad was in the hospital, I would go get them. It's like a comfort food. Well, I got a rash. So apparently there is whey in the cream cheese that they have at Einstein's. It's very sad. So Renee was doing all of this, and we were going to do this 21-day fast where you have these shakes and you drink two shakes. You don't eat anything for 2 days, and then you can eat lunch and dinner, but you still do these shakes. And the shakes, I should have tried it before. The first day I was like, this is disgusting. So I was barely drinking them. Then I had, it is a bright idea. I was turning them into supplements because I was like, I would rather take 40 pills of this milkshake than suck it down and drink it. Because I just have such a gag reflex that so I was like, boom, like making these pills. Like I felt like Walter White. I was like making them. 2 days in, like my PMDD was acting up. It was horrible. I should have timed it so it was not around my period. So I basically was like, I am ready to die rather than continue this cleanse. I was literally like, I would rather die right now than do this for any longer. So we just called it a day and I was like, Renee, I'm so sorry. We will try again. We're going to try in January, but don't do a cleanse around your period if you have PMDD. It was really bad. And then of course I had like an HOA meeting and I was so hungry and we're going to go get food after that. And it was the longest HOA meeting ever. I was like, oh my God, I just want to eat Culver's. And then like the most people showed up ever too at the HOA meeting. I was like, I am hangry. I haven't eaten in 2 days. I had to drink these nasty ass shakes. Like, I don't give a shit about your lawn at all. So I will keep you abreast to when Drew and I do this cleanse in January, right before we go on a cruise in February. So everything kind of fell off with my parents passing away. We had our trip, came back, was dealing with my dad. Then we left. We're gone for 3 weeks, deal with my mom. So I have really fallen off on a lot of this stuff. Like I said, I've been horrible about walking, and the exercise was kind of the first thing to go. My diet, I was doing really good not drinking soda. I went right back. But I also, when you're going through a tough time like this, I think that you have to kind of give yourself permission to have certain things. Like if the soda makes me happy right now, I'm not saying this is a permanent thing, but I'm going to drink it. I'm not going to go through the first holidays miserable without my parents. It's just because also it's for me. It's for me. And I have to decide what is worth it. Is it worth being miserable right now for that? Or is it more worth getting through and being happy? And I think that that's kind of where I'm at. But the road rage, we all know, I've talked about the idiots on the road. Like it's so bad. It's so bad. And every day, like I'm meditating, I'm in therapy, but nothing is helping this. So I was like, oh, wonder if I could get hypnotized. And I was ready to like hire somebody off TikTok. Like I was like, why not? But there are hypnotists, like this is a thing. This is a thing. They're all over the valley. And I found Patty, who is in Scottsdale, and she's like really prolific. She does a lot of stuff with sports medicine. She has helped a lot of people. So I went, and her office was a pain to find. I also didn't read the directions. I really need to be better about this. I like decide I know better. I don't know, but it's horrible. But I got there, and so we chit-chatted for a little bit. We talked about how bad Ambien is. I heard about some other clients. And then she sat me down, and like you're in this like big lazy boy, and she plays like ocean sounds. and then kind of launches in this little, almost like a meditation, like a guided meditation. And then you're supposed to listen to it every night when you go to sleep. I took that to mean looped. And Drew said I should ask, and I meant to ask and then just never did. So I couldn't, like, you can't loop a voice memo on an iPhone. So I looked up an app to use and audio loop. So I was looping it. And then I also was eating these weed brownies at night and was falling asleep before I could listen to it for a few days. But I went back and had told her things were better. I needed to work on my anger in general. So I have a new little thing to listen to at night. I listened to it today before I had to take Beckett to school. That was a time that I was really having trouble with. And I did really good taking it. I was very calm. Fine. Drop him off. I'm turning right onto a road and I'm driving. A big truck decides to pull out in front of me and then just stop in the middle of the road. Maybe he was going 5 miles an hour, but it was pulled out and was just on a leisurely drive. So much that I had to swerve around him because I was just driving and he cut me off. And I was like, I didn't want to do this today. So then I was like, okay, it's okay. It's okay. You had one time you went around. Then I get off the highway. Then this car comes over, and now I don't know what this is now, that people will take like a leisurely stroll into a turn lane. Fucking get it, girl. Go over and get in that fucking turn lane and fucking turn. Don't. So I have to slow down because you're and that's what's making me mad, I think. And I understand I'm in control of it. And I get everything they are saying to me. I'm not dumb, but I'm literally being inconvenienced in that moment. I'm literally I don't have it. So I honked at them. I honked. And then somebody's going really slow and I went around him earlier. I didn't flip anybody off. I'm a work in progress. That's what all of us say. I'm a work in progress. I have my last hypnosis appointment in 2 days. And then I guess I just keep listening to it. I don't know. So I'm going to keep you abreast of the situation of my road rage and my hypnosis. And who knows what other Eastern thing I'm going to do next. We did the tarot card reading where they all just tell me everything is good. Could be a little more detailed. And then coming up, future episodes, we do have the Strickland Halloween party coming up, as well as our son's murder mystery dinners, which have been I've been to one so far. Can't wait to tell you guys about it. There was an inflatable dinosaur at a murder mystery dinner. I didn't understand it, but so that's where we're at. The hippy dippy shit works. I'm going to keep taking my supplements, my meditation. I am going to get my diet in order. I'm going to work out, kill my road rage, and I will be zen as fuck if it kills me. Thank you guys so much for listening today. I hope maybe you got some good ideas. Maybe you just listen to me ramble. Either way, I appreciate you. And don't forget to make today your bitch. I'm Sarah Strickland.